Hello everyone and welcome back to Scott's TCG. It's Adam once again, bringing you a digital deck profile of the one and only Tier 0 abomination that is BlackWarGreymon X-Antibody. Black War was first released in BT8, it then saw some additional support with the X-Antibody set with the Digimon, and then it's finally seeing its full X-Antibody line. And the deck is insanely powerful. It is practically immortal while on the field. The only sort of weakness it has is just being swung over by a larger dude. But other than that, you're not going to be touching it. This is a deck I highly expect to see topping at the finals that are coming up. And yeah, let's get into the deck profile. So let me just, now everyone knows what Black War does at this point, so I'll go through all of these cards, but you know what most of them do. So we've got 4 Koromon, gives you a DP boost if you've got Agumon or Greymon. That's pretty much it. It's very good. You've got Agumon, 4 of these. This is the promo one, gives you plus 2k whilst you're a Greymon. Again, very good. You need the DP boosts. I'm running 2 of the Searcher Agumon from BT5, reveal top 3 for a Greymon and an Omnimon. There's no Omnimons in this list. I like the idea of the Omnimon, but I can't find the space for it, so I think the lower lineup is more important. You're going to get a Greymon most of the time, as everything from level 3, the level 4s upwards are all Greymons. You've got 2 of the Black Searcher Agumon, Agumon Virus, which is reveal top 4, take a Greymon and a Dragonkin. This is a more superior Searcher than this Agumon. However, these 2 Greymons, which we'll talk about in a moment, can only evolve over Reds, so that's why this is only a 2. And then we've got 4 copies of Agumon X-Antibody. On play, when Digivolving, search top 3 for a Greymon or Omnimon and an X-Antibody option card and add them to your hand. Bottom deck the rest. Super good. If you can get the Agumon Raising, or if you can play out an Agumon, search top 3 and then evolve for 0, you're getting a double search. It's super powerful, gets you the cards you need. You're always going to be netting cards most of the time anyway, so just it's more fuel for the combo. I'm running 4 copies of this Greymon, which gives Blocker and Inherited. While you've got a red Digimon in play, you'll always have a red Digimon in play because all of these guys are at least partially red. 2 copies of the Agumon that is a 1 cost to evolve. If it digivolves from an Agumon, you will always get the memory from this, unless you specifically evolve on top of this Agumon X-Antibody, and there is no other Agumon underneath it. Just remember that. If you've got an Agumon, then an X-Antibody Agumon, and then a Greymon, you will get it because this is still in its Digivolution cards. But if it is only this, you won't get the memory, but that shouldn't come up, and it's Inherited as plus 2k. And 1 of the security attacking Greymon, because it never hurts to do a bit more damage. And I think keeping this as a one-off, just as a threat for the more of the OTK potential against certain decks, is very, very good. Now we move on to one of the newer cards. This is the busted card that everyone's saying is going to get banned or limited because it's ridiculous. We've got Greymon X-Antibody. So it digivolves 0 from a Greymon, so any of these guys you're totally fine, or 3 by itself. When this Digimon would digivolve into a Greymon, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1 for each colour of the card, so making the Metal Greymon a 2 cost, making this Metal Greymon a 2 cost. Crazy broken. Everyone's thinking it's going to be limited because this combo is super strong and you can get up into a level 6 very quickly with this reduction effect. And its inherited effect is when it is a Greymon or an Omnimon, you can bounce you can bounce an X-Antibody option card from the bottom of this Digimon's Digivolution cards to the bottom of your deck to stop it from leaving play. So that's one of its protection effects. Then you've got your 4 copies of BT8 Metal Greymon, de-digivolve 1, then pop a 3 cost or less, good for early game aggro. It's a 2 cost now, which means you're probably not passing turn as long as you've got one of your memory tamers up, etc. And it can attack unsuspended as it's inherited. We all know what it does. We've got Metal Greymon X-Antibody. This is amazing. Obviously, digivolve 1 from Metal Greymon. DP can't be reduced and it can't be de-digivolved, and then if you're digivolving on top of this Metal Greymon, or if you've got the X-Antibody in your stack, you delete a 6 scare less. And its inheritance is when a Digimon becomes unsuspended, if this Digimon is a Greymon, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So Super good. If you're unsuspending this on your opponent's turn with reboot, this triggers. If they unsuspend and it's not triggered yet, it triggers again. Well, it doesn't trigger again, it triggers for the first time. Also, the art's super sick. And I like one copy of Alterius mode because it pops a 5k or less as long as you've got a tamer in play, and it gives you that protection effect that it used to run. Whereas if it would be, you know, deleted or bounced to hand or deck, you can trash 2 cards of the same level. So it's got so much protection, and that protection isn't done. We've got 3 copies of BlackWarGrey, the old one, you know. Pop tamers or pop up to play costs are 6 or less, and when something's deleted, unsuspend this Digimon. Crazy good. We've got 2 copies of the new BlackWarGreymon X-Antibody. Digivolves 2 from BlackWar. It's got reboot. Basically, when one of your guy on your opponent's turn, when they attack with their highest DP Digimon, you can redirect it once per turn into this BlackWarGreymon to potentially kill it. This is why the tamer is important, because you're 13k, but the Yuya tamer can put you up to 15, 17, etc. And then when a Digimon becomes unsuspended, if this Digimon has BlackWarGreymon or X-Antibody and its Digivolution cards, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. So on your turn, you've got on their turn, you've got reboot. You reboot during their unsuspend phase. You pop something, or for any reason, if you've kept this, you know, if you've kept this unsuspended, because you want to make use of your, you know, blocker Greymon, then whenever they unsuspend, something gets popped. Crazy good. And then we've got 2 copies of Gaiomon. I was originally running this at a 1-of, but I've been convinced to up it to 2 because it is a really essential card in the mirror match. You want to be de-digivolving your opponent's Black Wars and stuff, as long as they've not got the prevention de-digivolve effect. De-digivolving your opponent's board is super good. It's great in, you know, Bloom Lordmon. It's good in against Grandis, but Grandis just kind of plays solitaire against itself to win. It's good in Crossheart. It's good against Machine Dramon. Like, the de-digivolve is super good, and then obviously it's got Blitz, Security Attack +1, and Reboot. Because it will trigger your Metal Greymon X-Antibody, because it's always treated as having Greymon in its name, even though it is a Gaiomon or Samudramon, if you are familiar with the original name. So that's sort of your Digimon lineup. It's very streamlined, very concise. You get these guys out quickly, and then you just sit there while chipping away and trashing your opponent's security. It's very strong. For the tamers, we've got 3 copies of Yu Yakuga from BT11, Memory Setter, and when you digivolve into a Greymon, you can tap him to get +2k, and if you cross-evolve from like a Greymon into a Greymon X, an Agumon into an Agumon X, and a Metal Greymon into Metal Greymon X, or even BlackWar into BlackWarGrey X, when you tap it, you get the +2k, but then also it's not affected by your opponent's option cards, so no option cards will then be able to affect it, including options you hit in security. So yeah, crazy. So the only way that these things, these big beefy boys, can be killed is by being suspended and being swung over. I'll talk a bit about the deck's main weakness in a moment, but for the rest of this, we've got 3 copies of Cool Boy because the effect's busted. Reveal top 3 for an X-Antibody, and then when you digivolve into a same level Digimon, tap it to gain a memory draw card. Hades Force is also insane. It's technically a 5 cost as long as you've got an X-Antibody out. You choose one of your big guys, so play cost 13 if possible, and then you can delete a number of tamers or Digimon whose total play costs up to the play cost of one of your Greymons. So you can potentially wipe a Crossheart board full of tamers off the board completely, and then one of your Greymons can attack. So you can evolve up, play this to end your turn, and then your Greymon will attack, and then it will reboot, and then it will trash security. Absolutely crazy. 4's fine if you want to run it at 4. It means you'll see it the most. I think 3 is fine just for deck space, etc. And then 2 copies of X-Antibody. You play the option, it slides under 1, and then it gets the X-Antibody, you know, trait and ability and that sort of stuff. In this deck, you could also run Omnimon X-Antibody, the new one if you wanted to, or the old Blitz Omni. I think that's fine as well. I'd potentially maybe cut one of these Searcher Agumons, maybe the black one down to 1, just so you've got that. But yeah, that's it for the list, guys. This deck's main weakness is Grandis, because Grandis just builds up its stack suspends anything you've got out, swings through it, kills you, you have to reset, and then it just probably swings for game. But other than that, this deck is super strong against pretty much everything, even against Grandis, because Grandis can lose to itself by bricking. But yeah, that's it for this deck profile, guys. Hopefully have more for you. Good luck at finals if you're going. If you're going to the European finals, come say hi. I will be judging. And yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Bye for now.